Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 15th through the 21st. And during that time, we have a few different moon energies. We've got the waning crescent coming in from last week, also on the first couple of days. And that's a good time for stability and calm, a time for us to really self-reflect and think about the things that we would like to maybe start or change on the new moon, because that comes on the 17th. And of course, that's a time for fresh starts, new beginnings, a good time to learn a new skill, start any new projects, both inner, outer, whatever you're working on, or to make new decisions. We then move into the waxing crescent energy, and that's for the rest of the week. And that's a really good time of heightened senses, a good time for us to really start to execute those things that we've started on the 17th, and really just live up to our expectations and our intentions, and just really buckle down and try to get those changes made into either good habits or just good things, whatever we're improving. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Scorpio. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to balance spirituality and practicality. Always good advice there, I believe. Kind of reminds me of the Temperance card. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. That nice balance, making sure that you're thinking about the practical and the spiritual. Great way to live. All right, let's shuffle these cards while I'm doing that. My fun weekly reminder this week is that you try to learn something new. That totally goes along here with this moon energy. And, just a lot of times as adults, we forget to really do a deep dive on learning. I know that I feel like I'm learning something every day, but to really deep dive, I have to set aside time and say, okay, I'm going to learn this thing, and I'm going to read a book or watch a lecture or do whatever it is that I need to learn to get it, and take notes and just really take time to absorb something. So make sure that you try to, think about something that you've had some interest in recently. There's plenty of things to learn about. Maybe you're just going to learn a new recipe. Maybe you're going to learn some historical fact. I could never remember history things. So, that's one thing. I started working on, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I started working on kind of a timeline, because my brain doesn't want to put history things together in a timeline. It's hard for me to remember, when did this thing happen and where was that in the timeline. So that's something that I have started doing. I kind of add to it as I learn things. But anyway, just take time to deep dive and learn something. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you, Scorpio. And with that, I will quit babbling and let's get into this reading. Scorpio, February 15th through the 21st. Balance spirituality and practicality. And your overall present energy, Scorpio, is the Knight of Swords. So I just had the Knight of Swords. Which reading did I just do? Knight of Swords came out in Libra's reading also as their first card. So very interesting. Knight of Swords is about new idea comes into you, or a new thought or a new message comes through. And of course, that does kind of go along with our new moon, that you might be thinking, oh, I've got this new idea and I'm going to rush ahead with it. So again, when we're making quick, rash decisions like that, good idea to balance the spiritual. Is this thing spiritual? Does it fit along with my, my spiritual goals and aspirations, or is it practical? So make sure to maybe ask those questions as you're going along. Your current situation is the Four of Pentacles here, which is about your financial stability. And that's funny because this is exactly what was hidden in the other readings. So if this is something that that has to do with your financial stability, or if it interferes with your financial stability, again, make sure that you are being balanced and you're making really good practical decisions. But it looks like it either interferes or enhances. It could be either or. Let's see as these cards come out if this makes any more sense to us. At the root of your situation this week is the Knight of Wands. So this could be something, now we've got action on the communication and messaging and idea front, but also action on the passion front. So it looks like it's good. It's something that you love. You're kind of going to go for it, right? But make sure, again, make sure we're being practical about things and spiritual. In your recent past, here is the Ace of Pentacles. So, well, it could be that you are moving forward with this because you've recently come into some new money. So, okay, that makes sense if it doesn't affect your stability. Or maybe this new money added to your stability, and this idea that you're having might kind of, take that off balance a little bit. Again, just make sure we're keeping things balanced. Don't bite off more than you can chew. If it's something that you do want to delve right into, again, be practical. Try to just keep an open mind about being practical without leaping with both feet, right? I mean, and you Scorpios tend to be very intense, and I'm sure when you get an idea, you want to go for it right now. And maybe, look back through your past. Is that something that has worked out well for you? If so, go for it. If not, you might want to go, let me think about this for a minute, right? What's on your mind this week is the Six of Wands. So, are you doing this thing? Are you going to make this move because you want some sort of recognition from someone or from some group of people? Could be. And is that a really good, what's the word I'm looking for? Is that the best motivator? Is what other people think? Maybe not. And that doesn't tend to be very Scorpio either. You guys do tend to be a little bit secretive. So, is there somewhere that you're kind of hoping for a pat on the back when it comes to something? And it could just be from a couple of people. And so that's just a question. It's on your mind. So, maybe question why that's on your mind. And you might have very valid reasons of why that's kind of a goal for you, but make sure you're questioning that, right? What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Wands. So while we start off with this passion and this action with the Knight, we end up in a place where you're learning things. You're learning about something that not only are you very passionate about and something that drives you a lot, and you're really taking the time to really understand that thing and take in that information. Like I said, it's the new moon. It's a good time for a fresh start and new beginnings, and a time to learn new things. So you might be taking the time to really learn a thing, and it's not only that you are learning this for yourself, but you're also able to see in the people around you. You're able to see that passion in the people around you. So that could be very valuable to you. Keep that in mind. In your advice position is the Strength card. And here comes the Parade of Eights, which I have seen a lot of eights in February in general. I don't know why. There's just been more eights than usual in the readings and many combinations of them. But your advice is to be strong, and keep yourself strong. Again, when it comes to balancing your spirituality and your practicality, be strong in your decisions and the things that you do, and kind of hold ground to the person that you're trying to be in the end. Okay, what is beyond your control this week is the Moon card. So beyond your control, here comes some intuitive things. This is a card of mystery and mysterious paths, and I like to say things that are brought to light under the darkness. So this could be a dream that you have. It's beyond your control, and it might affect this entire situation. It could be some synchronicities that are occurring for you that you're able to look around and see something that's kind of guiding you to this decision, or this thing that maybe this comes out of a dream that you've had, right? So pay attention to those things are beyond your control. They are around you, and if you're paying attention, those are little signs and breadcrumbs for you that the universe is offering. It's like, hey, pay attention, do this thing over here, right? So sometimes you just got to go for it, and you'll know those intuitive things. Sometimes you don't know why you want to do a thing, why you want to turn left instead of right, but usually you're glad you did in the end. What is your secret desire, and what are you trying to avoid? Look at all the knights coming out. Your secret desire is the Knight of Cups. So your secret desire is to move forward in some sort of emotional action, at least being open emotionally to the things that are going on around you. And that's a great energy to be in. Or you're trying to avoid this emotion. So that's kind of a big question for you this week is, are you trying to move forward with open emotions, an open cup that is flowing out, but also of the ability to take things in? Or is that something you're trying to avoid? Ask yourself that this week. And your outcome, Scorpio, is the Judgment card. So it looks like you get to the end of this week with some judgment, either from peers or maybe even of yourself. And judgment is about new awareness, it's about learning things. So you may come out of this whole thing and decide that oh, I don't want to move this direction because I saw the situation and evaluated it, and now I've changed my mind. I've got a new awareness about it. You just come to some sort of truth about something with this entire situation, which honestly, this could template over so many different things. I'm not saying we've got a lot of wands, only one sword and one cup. So a lot of this is about passion and also the coins, right? So putting your money out there because of something that you really, really passionately believe in, if that makes sense. Once again, take a breath. Make sure you're just making balanced choices. What's hidden from you this week, Scorpio, is the Chariot card. Okay, the Chariot card is about getting ready to make a move and kind of gathering information to make a move, and you're not quite there yet. And maybe that's what this week was about, is it coming about this new awareness, learning something so that maybe in the future there's some move that you do want to make. It could be financial. So keep that in mind. Let's see a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. A final word for Scorpio this week, February 15th through the 21st. And the card for you is to revive the dormant. Interesting. Is this some dormant passion that you've let slip by, something that you haven't given attention to for a while, and maybe you're kind of reviving it, an old idea, something from your past? And that could be, and you may come back to it and make a judgment that, nope, that's not for me. Tried it again, not really. Or your awareness may change and you may say, I do want to revive that, right? I want to make that a part of my life coming up, and you'll make the decisions in the coming future to make that happen. All right, let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says, or I'm sorry, the self-care wisdom cards say about your self-care. So, self-care for Scorpio, February 15th through the 21st. Self-care for Scorpio. Oh, so crazy, because that's the same card I believe that was in my previous reading. If you, Scorpio, if you have a Libra in your life, you may want to watch that reading, because I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and now this card as well, in common with that reading. So just if you're a cross watcher, you may want to go watch that one. Okay, so wisdom, self-care wisdom card for you is called Abundance. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. So, very interesting with that card right here in the middle of your reading. So, pay attention to that message. Are you able to handle more abundance at this time? Are you being a thoughtful steward? So, I'm going to go back again. Balance your spirituality and your practicality. Make really good decisions this week, because there is something that you're kind of going to arrive at a decision about something by the end of the week. So, Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your week in a positive way. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know, did any of this resonate with you? Or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week. And I think that's a pretty great idea. So thanks so much, Scorpio, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.